when we look at the occupant and we look at this orange guy and all the crap that he's doing, he had those two interviews this past week. Those two interviews. And that one, did you see the one with the guy, Terry with ABC? And
yeah, that's my boy. I mean, I want to pat him on the back. Kristen Welker blew it. But I like the dude from ABC.
This is not an innocent, wonderful gentleman from Maryland.
I'm not saying he's a good guy. It's about the rule of law. The order from the Supreme Court stands,
He came
sir.
into our country illegally.
You could get him back. There's a phone on this desk.
I could.
You could pick it up, and with all the power of the presidency, you could call up the president of El Salvador and say, send him back right now.
And if he were the gentleman that you say he is, I would do that.
But the court has
he's
ordered
not.
you to facilitate that.
I'm not the one making this decision. We have lawyers that don't want to do this.
But the buck stops in this office.
No. I follow the law. You want me to follow the law? If I were the president that just wanted to do anything, I'd probably keep him right where he is.
Supreme Court says what the law is.
That's the most Trump's been pressed to his face that I can remember in a while. I mean, could he have gone?
I think he could have did better, but you're right.
Oh, he could have. He could have. But he didn't. I think he was, and Trump loved to point this out because I think this is probably his first presidential interview. He was trying to be respectful of the office. And he was trying to say, look, I don't want to bust your dumb ass out. I'm going to try to move on. I mean, that's what he was trying to do. He was like, I'm trying to move on. But Trump kept trying to like push this point. And but at least the guy said, look, it was voters. You're talking about the tattoo thing, right?
He said he wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute
Well,
over
that. Wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshop.
Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. Because what was so wild about it is that he was like, that was Photoshop. And then for him to go into no, it was there. I mean, he's insisting on it. And I'm sitting there. And this is when I wish I was sitting beside a redheader. I would be like, so what's up with your boy, man? We all can see that, that his people put that up there to basically let everybody know that it says MS-13, which it doesn't. But it was the fact that he kept pushing it, man.
Right.
I mean, seriously. But man, you're right. Man, Terry, he was like, no, it's not. He said, let's move on. He tried to say, let's move on. But Welker, she ticks me off. Jeez.
As I said to you before, now, if I'm not mistaken, well, it doesn't matter if it's 3 or 4. Since he has been inaugurated, since January 20th, Trump has given her 3 or 4, 3 I know, interviews. Okay? Now, Trump doesn't give many interviews to mainstream media organizations other than, the conservative bubble at all.
Right.
He keeps going back to Kristen Welker. And if I were a journalist, obviously.
Why is it her?
Right.
Why?
Exactly. Why? Because she doesn't press him. She doesn't press him, and he can get off his lies. And then on this last interview, not the nerve, but I don't know why NBC News doesn't understand that they're being used as a tool. And maybe they're all right with it. But they went for a tour of the ballroom in Mar-a-Lago. Really?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing?
Why? Yeah.
That's what we're doing?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. I mean, because in my view, it's like, okay, this is the world president going to take you around the freaking mansion and show you the ballroom? Is that what we're doing? Like, this is all good? Mm-hmm. No, it's not.
Don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me.
Once again, it's about educating people. She asked him if he should follow the Constitution. See, You don't do that. It's like journalists have forgotten that their job is to be the guardians of truth. So when she asked that question, she shouldn't have said, "Should you follow the Constitution?" She should say, "You took an oath to uphold and protect the Constitution. So why won't you do that?" Because ignoring the Supreme Court means you are refusing to honor your oath. But they don't
Right.
ask questions like that.
I don't understand why. Well, I understand why, because that would be her last interview with Donald Trump. In the corporate media world, that access, that interview is more valuable to them than doing their jobs. Like you said, your job is to bring truth to that. Now, what she could have done, and she can ask those questions. Are you going to do that? Mm-hmm. But then you follow it up with, well, why wouldn't you? Didn't you take an oath? You said to the Constitution. Then if she really wanted to get under his, what I really wanted to ask her was like, oh, so is this why you didn't put your hand on the Bible when you took your oath of office this time?
Everybody, a lot of people say that. Yeah, that could be the case. That could be the case.
So is this, because, this is, we want to know this, and they don't ever, this is what I am frustrated with some journalists now, because, if they don't feel, well, first thing, if they feel that uncomfortable, they shouldn't be sitting in the seat. But since they're there, the way they could off do it, because this is what Trump does too. Trump is the master of this. People are saying, this is what he always says that. People are saying that this is happening. So all she has to do is, she doesn't want to be directly confrontational with him. Mr. President, people are saying this. What do you have to say about that? Or if he wants to say, I don't know if I'm going to follow the Constitution, then she should come back with, well, Mr. President, let me get this straight, because I want our audience to understand exactly what's been said and not just take a little, one sentence and take it out of context. You're saying to us that you may not follow the Constitution if you don't agree with it. Is that what you're saying? See, he shouldn't say that.
Good question.
Yeah, see,
that's a good question.
That's the question. But they don't do that. She just lets him say his whatever. And that's why he's sitting, that's why he sits down with her, because that's what he does. The only reason I can come up with as to why they keep doing that is so they'll continually have access to Trump, and they feel like they get eyeballs, I guess.
What's the purpose of the access if you're not going to treat
ratings?
And that's the problem that we have.
That's the problem.
We look, think about this. That thing on CNN with Van Jones, when he was sitting there interviewing those three black Republicans.
Right.
Homegirl said that, first of all, she said she started listening to Candace Owens, and she started believing the crap that Candace Owens said. Right-wing media controls social media. She mentioned Candace Owens, and I believe the other dude, or I think she might have mentioned his wife. I got to go back and look at it. But that they get all of their news from TikTok, social media, and I think that's something that the Democrats don't understand. They need to focus on that. But the fact that these people are saying this, and then you have Kristen Welker asking the questions in the way that she's asking them. She's really not holding him to anything. It just makes the situation worse.